found is that acts of perceived violence in media directly related to prejudice increase against the target group. That's a scientific finding. So acts of perceived violence in the media directly related to the prejudice increase against the target group. So as soon as they show you, you will do it. Secondly, you have news. So in the news, it's constantly going 24 hours, news hour. You have these talking heads with Muslim names sometimes. They're always there. You always notice that a man is being represented, meaning a man is representing a whole community, but the whole community does not take him as their representation, but he's always there.
International is concerned by a rising trend of discrimination against Muslims across Europe. The rights group says Muslim women in Europe are being denied jobs and girls prevented from attending classes just because of their form of dress, such as the headscarf.
I saw found that 39% of Americans believe that Muslims should carry a special ID card that specifically identifies them as Muslim.
But is that too extreme? Charles Firth hit the streets of America to see where they really stand when it comes to Muslims.
Do you support the proposal for all US Muslims to carry a special ID card?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I think they should.
I think they should.
Why?
So if they come over here with a weapon or something, that way we know who they are.
After 9/11, unfortunately, things like that have to be, you know.
Do you think US Muslims should also wear a badge with the word Muslim on it?
I would say so. So you recognize them, yeah.
Which Muslims should have a special security number tattooed on their arm? Only the evil Muslims? Only Arab Muslims? Or all Muslims?
I would say all of them.
All of them have a security number tattooed on their arm.
I think there should be something special, some special mark or something.
Maybe a computer chip?
Right, computer chip or something, that way they can't hide it.
Yeah.
Where it's glues to their clothes or something.
Would you support proposals for Muslims to be converted to Christianity, converted to Judaism, or incarcerated until the war is over?
Incarcerate them till the war's over.
Convert some of them and
Incarcerate the others.
incarcerate some of the others.
So incarcerate until the war is over.
No, incarcerate
Forever.
Yeah.
But for this woman, discrimination is all too real. Nahaya Javed helped us design our experiment. Although born in Chicago, she says she's constantly characterized by fellow Americans as the enemy.
They always start off with, you're a terrorist, Osama lover, towel head, camel jockey, on and on.
While attending college in Texas, she says she continually suffered verbal abuse and has even been physically attacked just because she's Muslim.
They assume I'm not from here, and if I tell them I'm American, they're like, no, you're not. Just because you were born here doesn't make you American. And I'm like, so what makes you American?
Testing. We are here today. My name is Terry Jones. What we're about today is 9/11. What we want to do today is bring attention to what happened, of course, almost 10 years ago. It was a radical Islamic attack that day. And we must, as Americans, we must send a very clear message to the Muslim community. Islam talks generosity, goodness, but is Islam actually a generous religion? It's a religion of bondage. It's a religion of lies and deception. It is a religion that promotes violence. That is the true nature of Islam.
No, it's not.
Women in Islam are still being stoned.
That's the cat that wanted to burn the Quran. It's from Florida. I know you heard about him, that nut. Yeah. How you gonna run around talking about you preaching God and all of that, and you want to burn a holy book of God?
Of the radical element of Islam. You must look around the world and see what is being done.
Nothing you can make that can't be made. No one you can save that can't be saved. It's easy. All you need is love. All you need is love. All you need is love. Love. Love is all you need.
children of Muslim faith. Okay. What do you think about that?
Well, if they didn't do anything, I think it's wrong because they weren't the terrorists who did that. Osama bin Laden and his Al-Qaeda group did that. And most people think that it was everybody's fault who was Muslim and Afghanistan who did that, and I think that's wrong.
You know, sometimes since 9/11, unfortunately, we hear people talk about all Muslim people being violent, all Muslim people being responsible. You're saying no.
Most people that I know that were Muslim felt sad. My friend Sal felt sad on that day, and he got scared, and I don't think a lot of people realized that he was Muslim, but he felt just the same pain that we did.
And the Quran means wisdom, right? Right? And the Prophet of Islam is about mercy. You know, that's what the things really mean. And you know, just because people take things and they twist them for their own uses, man has been doing that since the beginning of the time. Since the beginning of time. I'm Coolio with the flow. Peace.
What's going on, everybody? This is Neo. Islam means love. The Quran means wisdom.
It's my manhood. So I said, okay, cool. Fire me from this $100,000 movie. Because I ain't gonna play no gangbanger who's a Muslim. There ain't no such thing. I refuse to play parts that don't exist.
Hi. I'm not a terrorist or a date merchant. I don't live in a tent or keep my wife zipped up in it all day. And for the record, I knew who she was before I married her, too. I have more than just white robes and sandals in my closet, and I've never actually rode a camel before. Ever. Even though I'm sure they're great animals and all. I do know someone named Ahmed, but it's not the guy from your economics class, so stop asking. Falafel actually is not my favorite type of food. I don't know how to even tie a turban, and I've never worked at a gas station or driven a taxi cab. And I don't think you're an infidel either. I believe in peace. I believe in people of all different religions and beliefs living together in harmony like the early Islamic, Arab, Ottoman, and Spanish empires. And trust me, I would go back to my own country, but I'm already in it. Muslims were the people who created some of the world's most beautiful architecture. We invented algebra, calligraphy, astronomy, geometry, and the modern numerical system. Not the Greeks, but Muslims. And you know what? It's pronounced Islam, not Islam, but Islam. And a real man fasts. A real man fasts and isn't afraid to pray wide open in the mall, regardless of the look people are giving him. And he doesn't get nervous about washing his feet in a public restroom sink. And yes, that is the Quran I'm reading. I don't care if I'm in an airport, because it's the greatest book ever. My name is Muhammad, and I am a Muslim.